All right, you guys, we're going to read the true story of the three little pigs. This is a good one because it's got a whole bunch of buildings and houses, and we can look at different materials that we might use when we're building a house. All right, so this is a true story of the three little pigs by a wolf. And you see, we've got our wolf over here, and it looks like he's blowing, but I think we're going to find out what actually happens in this story. Everybody knows the story of the three little pigs, or at least they think they do. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Nobody knows the real story because nobody has ever heard my side of the story. I'm the wolf, Alexander T. Wolf. You can call me Al. I didn't know how this whole big bad wolf thing got started, but it's all wrong. You see the wolf? It's a wolf over here. And I see something yummy over here. Maybe it's because of our diet. Hey, it's not my fault that wolves eat cute little animals like bunnies and sheep and pigs. That's just the way we are. If cheeseburgers were cute, folks would probably think you were big and bad too. You see the cheeseburger over here? The cheeseburger has got some cheese and some meat and some other stuff going on. But like I was saying, the whole big bad wolf thing is all wrong. The real story is about a sneeze and a cup of sugar. This is the real story. Way back in Once Upon a Time, I was making a birthday cake for my dear old granny. I had a terrible sneezing cold, and I ran out of sugar. Oh, look. They need sugar. They need the sugar. Let's see if he gets it. So I walked down the street to ask my neighbor for a cup of sugar. Now, this neighbor was a pig, and he wasn't too bright either. He had built his whole house out of straw. Can you believe it? I mean, who in his right mind would build a house of straw? So you see here, he's walking down the street, and he's going to the house. He's going to the house. And look, this one is made out of straw. So of course, the minute I knocked on the door, it fell right in. I didn't want to just walk into someone else's house, so I called, little pig, are you in? No answer. I was just about to go home without the cup of sugar for my dear old granny's birthday cake. That's when my nose started to itch. I felt a sneeze coming on. Well, I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed a great sneeze. Look, he went, ah-choo! Can you do it? Look, ah-choo! Right into your elbow. And then hopefully someone else says, bless you. And you know what? That whole straw house fell down, and right in the middle of it was the first little pig. Do you see the pig? Uh-oh. The whole house fell down because it was made out of straw, and straw falls apart easily. It seemed like a shame to leave a perfectly good ham dinner lying there in the straw, so I ate it up. Think of it as a big cheeseburger just lying there. So I was feeling a little better, but I still didn't have my cup of sugar. So I went to the next neighbor's house. This neighbor was the first little pig's brother. He was a little smarter, but not much. He had built his house out of, look, what are they? It's made out of sticks. Look at all those sticks. It's a little stronger. It's made out of some wood. I rang the bell on the stick house, but nobody answered. I called, Mr. Pig, are you in? He yelled back, go away, wolf, you can't come in. I'm shaving the hairs on my chinny chin chin. I had just grabbed the doorknob when I felt another sneeze coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I tried to cover my mouth, but I sneezed a great sneeze. Can we do it again? Ready? Ah, choo! You gotta cover those sneezes. Ah, choo! And then I said, bless you. And you're not going to believe it, but this guy's house fell down just like his brother's. When the dust cleared, there was the second little pig. You see the pig? And look, do you see all of the wood? There's all kinds of wood that fell apart on this house. Now, you know food will spoil if you just leave it out in the open. So I did the only thing there was to do. I had dinner again. I was getting awfully full, but my cold was feeling a little bit better. And I still didn't have that cup of sugar for my dear old granny's cake. So I went to the next house. This guy was first and second little pig's brother. He must have been the brains of the family. He had built his house out of bricks. He built it out of bricks. They're a little stronger. I knocked on the brick house. Knock, knock, knock. No answer. So I called, Mr. Pig, Mr. Pig, are you in? And do you know what he asked? Get out of here and don't bother me again. Talk about impolite. He probably had a whole sack full of sugar, and he wouldn't give me even one little cup for my dear old sweet granny's birthday cake. What a pig. I was just about to go home and maybe make a nice birthday card instead of a cake when I felt my cold coming on. I huffed and I snuffed and I sneezed once again. Then the third little pig yelled, and your old granny can sit on a pin. Look it, he was a mean little pig. Look at that face. He wasn't being very friendly. Now, I'm usually a pretty calm fellow, but when somebody talks about my granny like that, I go a little crazy. When the cops drove up, of course I was trying to break down this pig's door. And the whole time I was huffing and puffing and sneezing and making a real scene. So look, it looks like he's blowing. Can you blow? But he's not really blowing. He's achoo! Achoo! He's sneezing. The news reports found out about the 2 pigs that I had for dinner. They figured a sick guy going to borrow a cup of sugar didn't sound very exciting. So they jazzed up the story with all of that huff and puff and blow your house down, and they made me the big bad wolf. That's it. That's the real story. I was framed. Look, he's in the paper. He's in the paper being the big bad wolf. But maybe you could loan me a cup of sugar. And that's the end. That's kind of a funny 3 little pig story. But look, you guys could try to make your own houses, and you could try to make them out of the different things that we see in this story. So you could try to make a house out of the straw, maybe some shredded paper. You could try to make a house out of sticks. Maybe you could use some popsicle sticks or toothpicks, or maybe even some sticks from outside if you can find them. And we could try to make a house out of bricks. So you could use maybe some construction paper, or you could color them. We're looking at the different houses that the pigs lived in. I hope you enjoyed the story, you guys. Bye.